What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Dark Season 3 video. This was an amazing ride and each season has been amazing, but Season 3 takes the mind-bending twists further and further down the rabbit hole as we experience even more timelines and even different worlds. Now there will be spoilers for the entire season and obviously the preceding seasons, so be careful, and if you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and if you want more of our videos, please do consider subscribing with notifications on to never actually miss a video. So we pick up pretty much directly from the Season 2 major WTF cliffhanger of Martha being killed, and we get a Martha from another world appear holding what looked like the Apple of Eden from the Assassin's Creed series. Yes, that game is on my mind as all I've done in lockdown is play Odyssey and make videos. An absolute ridiculous amount of stuff happens in this season, and for the sake of making the video easy to watch, we'll be covering the main story beats and discussing the superb and engaging ending, which is difficult to do really for a third season show of Stranger Things. Martha from the future of another world appears, that is, the one who appears holding what looks like the Apple of Eden, and well, I will call her Earth B, and the Earth that we've had so far, Earth A. She explains that there is another world, which is a mirror of Earth A, where Jonas was born, and she absolutely subsequently disappears, causing Jonas to explore this mirror window all alone. He meets the Martha of Earth B pre-time travel, who is wearing the signature coat of Jonas, which is a yellow raincoat, making it clear that what we learn later, she is the Jonas of this world, the constant and the one essentially causing the apocalypse. Earth B has so many different changes to Earth A, and there's such minor changes, but the big one is essentially that there is no Jonas at all. He simply doesn't exist, as Mikkel never actually went missing on Earth B, thus causing Jonas to not exist, but his counterpart here is Martha. Now on both Earth A and B, the world does actually get destroyed on June 27th, which is why this season came out on a Saturday and time is a loop. And in Infinity, constantly going around influencing everything that happens, so on and so forth, with the ending being the apocalypse and time actually going on even beyond that in a harrowing world. Both Earth A and B have their protagonists, Jonas and Martha. They are Adam and Eve, the ones who are supposed to cause the original sin, which I guess here is the apocalypse, instead of actually having an apple given to them by a talking snake. Yeah, the Bible's weird. Both Earths are actually split off from each other, with each one actually influencing the other as Jonas and Martha go to each of these worlds, so on and so forth, across all of their different timelines. They always exist, messing with things in the past, influencing the future, back and forth. The theory behind all of this is the Schrodinger's cat theory. Anything can exist within a box, as a cat in it can either be alive and dead at the same time. For example, the show posits there is some poison in there, and the cat can be alive and both dead at the same time, creating two different realities. In the context of Dark, we have an origin world which then splits off into two, creating Jonas' Earth A and Martha's Earth B. Throughout all of the three time loops of 33 years, there are three beings influencing time, with Adam, Eve, and Claudia. Adam is the dark, Eve is the light, the future grizzled versions, Adam and Eve, of Jonas and Martha. Adam feels like he can actually kind of stop the world by constantly having the Earth go on a massive loop. And, well, he thinks that there is an origin which may be his child, but obviously it doesn't happen. And then Martha wants to protect her children as well, and this seems to be the conflict that they had for many, many loops. As he wants to destroy it, Martha wants it to exist, which is the weird three different versions, which is the young, adult, and old of the man or the men all wearing the same clothes, compounding the further rule of 3. 3 is everywhere in the show. The idea of the Trinity with the triquetra. All 3 things exist at the same time with one thing in the middle. Adam and Eve are intrinsically linked to almost everyone in the show, and both Earth A and B follow pretty much the same story beats. Both Adam and Eve are trying to fix the world and stop the apocalypse, but in very, very different ways. Adam wants to try and keep the loop going until they eventually reach the end and he achieves a paradise, while Eva is trying to actually sort of influence things to happen as different things and different changes. Now, Adam actually sent Martha back to 1888 to the adult Jonas, who is also known as the Stranger, to keep the loop going, which, funny enough, perpetuates both worlds from carrying on in a loop, further cementing the fact that there will actually be an apocalypse with no sign that they can ever get off this ride. Now, eventually in their lives, Adam and Eva try to actually keep the world timelines going, as they believe that eventually in their timelines, Adam and Eve are trying to keep the world or the timelines intact as they should, which they obviously keeps happening and corrupting the past. The past keeps being corrupted and they are on a loop, and by keep going back in time to ensure things will actually happen, they are cementing time in which it can never be changed. Now, we finally learn that this can actually be changed. Claudia has managed to actually change time and convinces Adam that this can actually happen. So we then finally learn what the knot actually is and what the origin really is. In the Sic Mundus layer, we have both worlds and the family trees with the infinity knot symbol binding them. So on each side, there are 2 different kind of family trees. Now, we thought it was the apocalypse, then the child of both Jonas and Martha, but it turns out to be something quite crazier than we ever actually thought. Throughout the season, Tannhaus had been the creator of the time travel theory and the machine, but every time he is confronted, he admits he has no idea how to actually get it to work. He hadn't actually created it, and the machine, as it is constantly given to him and the ideas presented to him in the book, were not his just yet. This is the bootstrap paradox, where if someone goes back in time and tells Mozart the music for the iconic 5th Symphony, he performs it, is credited with its creation, but he never actually wrote it because it's been changed. And well, these changes can happen. All this while Earth A and B, meaning Jonas will never actually exist. We finally see Tannhaus creating the machine. He has invented time travel, and thus Schrodinger's cat theory comes into play. Both worlds are offshoots of a result of him creating time travel to save his child from a car crash. It is the origin that has been created, splitting time into 2, as they do in most time travel stories. Claudia pleads to Adam that time can actually be changed with little things instead of constantly going back in a loop for this to happen. She's lied to Adam and Eve throughout their entire lives. Everything has been mixed up and changed, all to lead to this moment. Also, Adam can change his mind to influence his younger self to end it all and end his own existence. An example of this is when Jonas is sent back or shot instead of Martha, and Adam decides it's time to end the loop and find paradise the only way he can, by actually taking Jonas to Earth B to stop his younger self from actually becoming Adam and Martha becoming Eva. Both Jonas and Martha go back in time to stop the Tannhaus child dying in a car crash, means that he has no need to ever invent time travel. Once they travel in time to just before the crash, they stop all of this and they finally reach paradise. Because time travel never exists, they then go to the origin world. The origin world never splits in time into what all. Nothing happens. None of this Earth A and B ever occurs. It's a world where lives and worlds have not been destroyed. And it continues on as it should actually. It is a paradise world where all of the adult characters we saw in episode 1 of season 1 are happy and living their best life. Hannah is pregnant, and Hannah is living the best life she ever wanted until she sees the yellow jacket and briefly remembers the world as we see the lights flicker, previously indicating some sort of time travel or mess with time, and she names her child Jonas. Now, this is where we get into the speculation part. To me, this indicates that she or he is the true constant, the true origin that he will always exist. I mean, if time is a loop, as we found out in the show, then he has to exist to go back in time to stop the townhouse child from dying. You see, it never ends, but there is a paradise world. We must go through this trauma and this strife to get what we want. It's an allegory for life in some way. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm sorry I didn't go into too much detail because there is way too much to actually talk about, but I might split off and break other theories down, such as the origin and the changes between Earth A and B. Let me know what you want. However, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please do drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.